Almost 3/4 of the human brain is designed only to read, analyze, and judge other people's feelings, emotions, and behaviors. Genetically structured in a way that we are always more interested in information about people than things. This knowledge is widely used by marketers, tabloid press, gossip websites, by social media, and the most powerful companies in the world. Let's face the truth. Gossiping is human nature. Spicy details from the life of celebrities, their new partners, the troubles they have, lost problems, addictions, bankruptcies. This is what most people want to know, hear, and read. Where is admiration or hatred? The genesis of origin is always the same. People love to talk about others because it's written in our genes. It generates emotions, and to be persuasive, you have to generate emotion in the people you talk to. In this video, how to use the human psyche to be more persuasive. How to speak and put power behind your words. Make people want to listen to you and generate a state that will support your performance. People who deal with the art of the spoken word know how the right choice of words affects perception and interpretation. Masterfully chosen words cause that the message gets not only the transparency, but also stimulates our senses. Since the beginning of time, all the greatest leaders were aware of its power and possessed great oratorical skills. Individuals who master the art of expression are able to inspire masses to action. Properly selected words trigger our brain. Put in the wider context, can do amazing things, while every single word means very little. Adjectives describing the image arouse the part of the brain responsible for the imagination. Properly spoken verb indicating movement builds up in our mind not only the image of it, but allows to experience it at the same time. Onomatopoeia words imitate or suggest the sounds they present, make our brain react as if we could hear that voice. So now imagine an expensive, aerodynamic, fast car speeding straight ahead, drifting and smashing everything in its path. Choosing the right words is an art, but never forget that effective communication is based primarily on a transfer of emotion. People subconsciously believe or not in what you say. When words don't match your inner feelings and your emotional state, we have a natural gift to sense this apparent contradiction and we start to be suspicious. To be a good conversationalist, it's important to understand the concept of mirror neurons. First scientists who discovered and described the existence of mirror neurons were Italian neuroscientists from the University of Parma led by Giacomo Rizzolatti. Scientists have concluded that only by observing humans' behaviors, our brain can be stimulated to the same extent as we were involved in the activity ourselves. Each of us can observe the functioning of mirror neurons in daily life. We used to yawn when someone else yawns. When you smile, you can expect a smile in return. Aggressive behavior breeds aggression. There are countless examples. Mirror neurons are believed to play a main role in empathy, learning, and social behavior. In sales, mirror neurons can play a crucial role in building rapport with clients. By observing clients' body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice, salespeople can adjust their own behavior to build a connection and establish trust, and gain insight into their emotions and motivations, which can help tailor the sales pitch to their specific needs. When a salesperson mirrors a client's body language, the client may feel more comfortable and open to salesperson's message. Therefore, in the context of selling skills, mirror neurons have a significant impact on your persuasion abilities, your clients, and generally all people you want to have an impact on. Speech was developed at a much later stage of humans' evolution than other channels of communication. However, when we think about communication skills and persuasion, the first thing that comes to our mind are words. That's why people are looking for all kinds of scripts and canned lines as if there was some magic spell. Why they tend to ignore the complexity of the word process. Ambiguity in the context of communication is an abstract concept, that's why still so misunderstood. To understand what means that words are meaningless and irrelevant, but at the same time you should choose them carefully, and what means to act persistently, simultaneously as if you don't care. You have to stop focusing on logic and more on experiencing when you talk to your prospect and you do, for example, a public speaking. Realize that words are pointless and don't hold much weight and significance. However, it's still important to choose them carefully because they can have an impact on how you are perceived by environment or how effectively you are able to communicate your ideas. In other words, while words may not be inherently meaningful, they are still essential in achieving certain goals. Wanting to be persuasive, you should pursue your goals with determination, while also maintaining a sense of detachment and nonchalance to avoid being overly emotional, dependent, and too much invested in the outcome of your efforts, as it often seen as very repulsive. All these ambiguities can bring lots of confusion and may seem contradictory, but only until you move from theory to practice and tangible results. Well-chosen words are able to elevate emotions, but at the same time, you must take care of your inner state to give them power. When nonverbal communication supports your words, the impact is incomparably greater. When you meet someone for the first time, will you be able to arouse someone's interest? Results mostly from your inner state, feelings and emotions you express in that moment in time. Especially at the initial stage, words mean very little. After all, everyone can say what someone else wants to hear. Few turn out to be trustworthy. Subconsciously, people look for other signals than words that can help them read sincere and true intentions. So don't expect high attention and trust when talking to a newly met people only on the basis of your words. If you want to get positive feedback, meeting a new client, you must focus and take care of your inner state and how you feel, which translates directly in your authenticity or its lack. An internal state control has a direct impact on your performance. It's one of the decisive elements influencing the effectiveness of your communication. Words gain power in the moment where are amplified by consistent emotion. So the big question is, how to master and manage your emotions to be in the best possible state and this way influence people you talk to. Essentially, you need to tune into the emotion that give your verbal message the fuel to move things forward. An eternal dialogue that constantly goes in your head has usually the most devastating impact on how you feel talking to the people. Enthusiasm, discouragement, anger, easygoingness. Where you direct your focus is your energy, and all these emotions are reflected in your verbal and non-verbal communication. It makes your message stronger as well as make it completely ineffective when no energy or negative emotion lies behind your words. To influence people, you must first learn to manage your feelings. Constantly take care of your inner state and monitor how you communicate with yourself, because that's where it all starts. You need to build your momentum, the state that will be best for what you are going to talk about, who you are going to talk, and where you are going to talk. The problem is that sitting for many hours behind a desk and your computer screen, your state never will be optimal. Going through the day requires high concentration, but this type of work impairs your social skills the most. After a few hours of intensive mental work in the office, you become socially numb. In some types of work, there is no room for unnecessary emotions, so the part of the brain responsible for being social temporarily deactivates. Being in your head, under the influence of logical mind, you are not able to establish a quick rapport with newly met people, making a presentation or doing public speaking in a way that will sound the best. To get it done, you need to warm up first. Your mind needs time to adapt. To reach the top of your performance, you need to build momentum. You need to get out of your head, stop spinning in your thoughts, and you need to talk a little, preferably with strangers. Everything counts. A simple conversation in a shop or on the street can be an excellent opportunity to warm up before an important business meeting. Choose influences carefully to create positive thoughts. During the warm-up, don't judge every spoken word and thought that come to your mind. Don't try to be witty. Instead, get out of your head. Don't focus on the reaction of people and environment. Just proactively build your state. If you are very preoccupied with the things that are absorbing you, you will usually need a few minutes of warming up to change this state. I realize that warming up might seem like an absurd idea to many salespeople, especially for those who have never before consciously managed their inner state. But if you have ever dealt with cold calling, you have probably noticed that the first calls of the day are the hardest one, and the next usually go smoothly. Those first few conversations are just the warm-up. Warming up is a powerful tool that, used regularly, will improve significantly your communication and public speaking skills. Be aware that's a process and it requires constant repetition. The breaks between every interaction should be as short as possible so that the state lasts as long as you need it to support your performance. A sales job is largely about meeting and contacting a huge number of people, not only potential buyers, but all indirectly involved in the sales process. Unfortunately, as the days go by, empathy we feel towards people decrease significantly. Human species has evolved over hundreds of thousands of years of evolution. When we used to live in a small tribes where everyone knew each other, our brain had not enough time to adapt to such dynamic changes that have taken place over the last few hundred years. Living in a big cities and huge communities is an invention of last centuries. As scientists estimate, our brain is designed to contact no more than 150 people a day. In theory, that's its capability. As a result, average brain is overloaded and empathy and patience decrease significantly as the days go by. Cognitive capabilities impair and we become irritated and emotionally numb when the daily limit has been exceeded. Relaxing in front of TV or smartphone after getting back home is pointless either, because in return you get only another extra dose of stimulants like new faces of people on social media. As a result, increased base level of dopamine. Human brain only seemingly distinguish real images from those presented on the screen of your smartphone. Feelings remain virtually the same as described by the concept of mirror neurons. Basically, regardless of whether we are dealing with imagination or reality, the same nerve connections are activated and the same chemical reactions occur in our body. Put it simply, our brain doesn't differentiate reality from fiction in terms of creating our internal feelings and well-being. Life can be hard. The problems can be overwhelming. It's impossible to smile, be enthusiastic and motivated all the time. In fact, that states are not always optimal. Sometimes it's better to express sadness, anger, disappointment, whatever you may feel. Enthusiasm is essential in sales, but first of all, you need to be real. Most of the time, you should stimulate your clients with your positive energy, but there may also be moments when you should lean over their daily concerns. After all, they are regular people, and sometimes they may need nothing more than a simple, honest conversation. The fundamental question that everyone should ask themselves is, who am I? When I leave home, do I smile at people I pass on the street? Do I ask taxi Uber driver how he's doing? A cleaning lady in the office how was her weekend? Am I someone who cares about people and their well-being? Or I notice nothing around because I'm overwhelmed by everyday problems and daily chores? Although the possibility of remote contact is practically unlimited nowadays, it seems that we have less time to talk to people than ever before. Sales business models make interpersonal contacts even more superficial. Despite the fact that an average sales representative comes into contact with a huge number of prospects every day, very rarely establish truly deep relationships. Therefore, if you want to be remembered, you should pay more attention to that. Our fast-paced lifestyle and focus on results make us forget about the little things that have a huge impact on the quality of social life. In pursuit of success, people don't know how to be happy because they don't pay attention to people around, and as everything proves, it's an integral part of it. Very few realize that maintaining a high enthusiasm during the day and being social has the direct impact on the achieved results and their persuasive abilities. Our reality is in fact collective. People we see and meet make our feelings, are the source of all positive and negative inspirations. The more right people around you, the better you feel, the stronger you are. That's why you must to master the skills of firing certain states depending on the situation you are in. The right states that drive you straight to your goal. The sooner you learn how to do it just at the snap of a finger, the more charisma and authenticity you will gain in the eyes of your audience and your potential clients. As often you try to change your state, the faster you learn to manage your emotions. Learn that skill, refine the process, and you'll be able to persuade and influence people who may forget what you said or what you did, but they shouldn't forget how they felt in your company.